What's up, everybody, and welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me, and today we gonna be breaking down the latest Marvel event, Gang War. Now, this series has been super dope. I'm talking all of the villains, the street level villains of New York versus all of the heroes of New York in an all-out blitz, and this has been absolutely fire. And now this issue picks up right after the Amazing Spider-Man Gang War First Strike. And this issue is the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 39, Gang War. Let's get into it. So this issue picks up exactly 6 hours after Gang War First Strike. Now you remember, and I'll attach the card at the top so you can click on the playlist and watch the previous episode of Gang War First Strike. But if you remember, at the end of it, Spider-Man is in the hospital room with Robbie Robertson, and they noticed a large explosion, and Gang War is officially kicked off. So as this issue picks up, like I said, it's 6 hours after that, and we see an old couple. So the old couple's name is June and John. I don't really think they matter, but they're running through the chaos. There's explosions everywhere. There's people running for their lives, and they just trying to get out of that jam. And then we see them fall to the feet of Ringmaster. Now, see, they was trying to get over to the park, Central Park, that is, because they say there's no fighting over there. But we see them fall at the feet of the Ringmaster. And the Ringmaster tells them that he's a little bit low on an army. So he brainwashes them to join the army. He's like, get these two a couple weapons. They're like, weapons? He's like, oh yeah, you're a part of my squad now. So they fall under the spell and ask, who do you want us to kill? They point over in the distance, and now you see AIM. So now there's an all-out blitz with Ringmaster against AIM and its own, including that old couple. They're part of this gang now. So then we see Crime Master. He's the one that's got AIM on his side, going up against Ringmaster. So they terrorizing the streets, and in the distance we see Spider-Man overlooking the whole thing. Then we get a close-up of Spider-Man and his street team. It's Spider-Man, he got She-Hulk, he got Miles Morales Spider-Man, he got Electric Daredevil, and he got Spider-Woman. So we got him a dope little team. And we get some back and forth between them, and he's basically like, they got a lot of firepower down there, but so do we, so let's get into action. She-Hulk, you get the tank. So she jumps down, smashes through AIM and the tank. Then we see Electra jump down, and she goes to work dismantling the AIM soldiers one by one. Now the Spider people are the last ones left on top of the building, so they like, well, looks like Crime Master is what's left, so we gonna go after him. And they do it. Spider-Man lets them know, hey, there's civilians out there, so we ain't got time to be gentle. She-Hulk is like, say less. And she gets to smashing. Then we see Miles. Miles fly through the air with his Venom sword, and he cuts the guns of all of the AIM guys. That Venom sword. It don't make a whole lot of sense, but it sure is sick. I love it. And we see Electra facing Ringmaster, and Ringmaster's trying to brainwash Electra, tell her she's under his control. She's like, my mind is trained. I've been training my mind since I was little. Your mind is terrible. Sounds like a child screaming through a megaphone. And she cracks him in the face. Then we go over to Crime Master, and we see Spider-Woman jumping at him, and he's telling her, this war ain't got nothing to do with you. And she's like, yeah, I know, I'm just a distraction. And just then, Spider-Man drop kicks him in the back, knocks him out. So Spider-Man radios to Luke Cage, tells them the hot zone in the Upper East Side is now cold. Tells him he got a couple big fish that need processing. So go on, get to it. And we get Luke Cage in the office, and he's telling him that Mr. Negative is moving on Lady Yulan's property, or her territory on the Lower East Side. And Diamondback is making a play for downtown with his Hydra's help. And Hobgoblin is making some noise over in Brooklyn. And then somebody else chimes in, don't forget about Hell's Kitchen. Then we switch back over to Spider-Man, his crew, and Elektra heard it. And she's like, oh, Hell's Kitchen? Oh yeah, I'm finna handle that. This ain't no place for amateurs. And Spider-Man's like, how the hell did you even hear that? Elektra's like, yeah, I'm on this. I'll handle it alone, by myself. So she goes off, and now she's gone. So now you got the 3 spider people and She-Hulk left. So then Spider-Woman tells Spider-Man, look, she finna head downtown because, like I told you, Diamondback is mine, and I'm on his ass. So she goes ahead and takes out and heads that way. Then we get Miles. Miles is like, if a Hobgoblin is in Brooklyn, I need to be on out that way too. So him and his Venom Blast sword, they up out of there. She-Hulk's like, yeah, that's a cool sword. Spider-Man's like, yeah. She's like, can you? He's like, nah. So now it's just the 2 of them, Spider-Man and She-Hulk left over. So then we get Harlem. And in Harlem, now you remember, Black Mariah was talking about wanting Tombstone's territory. And she's now there. And right now, the only person that's there holding down the territory is White Rabbit. So Black Mariah and her crew spray up the place. And just then, there's an explosion at the door, and in comes Janice, aka the Beetle. She's like, I told you, this is my pop's territory, and since he's down bad, it's my territory now. And we see her her crew let into Black Mariah's crew. Then we see Beetle fly Black Mariah up into the sky, and she's like, you right, I'm not my father. Because Black Mariah told her, like, you can't handle this, you're not your dad. So, of course, Beetle flies her up. It's like, you're right, I'm not my father. He said, my father is in the hospital, and I don't know who put him there, but I know it was one of y'all. So she's like, then Janice tells her, and I want all of y'all to know that there isn't an inch to be gained from his injuries. Do you understand? Black Mariah's like, yes, I tell them. She's like, no. Janice is like, you'll show them. And she drops Mariah from the sky. Boom. Then we go back over to the hospital where Robbie and his son is at. His son is still down bad, unconscious from the gunshots from the previous issue. And he's talking to him, and then we hear a voice speak out to Robbie. Not the face I expected to see when I woke up. We get the reveal that it's Tombstone. Tombstone is back awake. He's recovered from his injuries, and he's trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Where am I? So Robbie's like, yeah, I wanted you to see the mess your business caused when you woke up, so that's why I was here at your side. So then Robbie is like, look, man, this war has cost me my son, and it might cost you your daughter. Tombstone's like, I'm not understanding. I'm not following you. So he shows him the window, and he's like, look outside. I'm done talking. And Tombstone overlooks, and he's like, damn, the bastards did it. He says, Robbie, I'm gonna need my pants. Robbie's like, Lonnie, get your own damn pants. It don't work for you. So then we transition over to Murray Hill. Spider-Man and She-Hulk are now engaged with some monsters that live under Murray Hill. They pop up and they're like, bring us this Murray so that we may murder him and claim his hill for Monster Metropolis. So now Spider-Man and She-Hulk, they gotta engage in this. So they like, let's go. But then She-Hulk looks and realizes Spider-Man is behind him. She's like, why are you behind me? He's like, oh, no, I'm not. I'm just letting you lead and speak. She's like, you're clearly behind me. And then they get into the fight. They go at it with the monsters. They have a nice little brawl. And eventually, they're able to take them down. And we see in the distance, Shotgun is watching the whole thing. And then he gets a call. Let them tire themselves out. I need you in Midtown. He's like, copy that. Then the voice tells him, I should tell you that Tombstone is awake. Nah, Shotgun is the one that actually shot Tombstone at his daughter's wedding. So now Shotgun is like, well, when do I get to fix that situation? The voice tells him after the land rush. Until then, take everything we can. So he's like, all right, I'm on the way. Then we go back and we see Janice. And she's talking about now that Mariah's off the table, we can go after Spanish Harlem, her territory. And that's when Rabbit is like, what about your dad? Him and Diamondback, they drew up them territories together. You can't just go ransacking. He might have a problem with that. She's like, my dad is not here. Neither one of them are. Then at the door we hear, not quite, Janice. We look up, and it's Tombstone. He's telling her he's home. She gives him a big hug. Dad, you're back. You're better. So he's like, what's going on out here? Where we at? Show me what's going on. So she's like, Mariah tried to take the docks, but Kareem and I held him off. Then Janice dropped her from 20 feet up. That's what Rabbit tells her. And this is after Janice was like, yeah, I got Mariah. Spanish Harlem is ours. So he's like, what you mean you got her? That's when Rabbit told her that. So Tombstone's like, yeah, you did what you had to do, but that's a big area to defend. We got to show up our own borders and ride this thing out. She's like, nah. He's like, no, what you mean no? She's like, we're not riding this out. We taking this all away. I want Harlem. I want all of it. She's super greedy now. And Tombstone like, you ain't in charge. She's like, I have been though. You been out of this thing. I took over while you was asleep or nursing your injuries. He's like, so you want to run my territory? You have any idea what I had to do to get there? She's like, nah, you always kept that from me. But whatever it is, do you got the stomach to do it to me? I'm like, nah. She's like, glad you okay, Dad. Try to stay off your feet, but I'm finna go take care of business. So Tombstone is essentially lost. He lost his daughter in this. She done bossed up now since he's been down and out. So then we go and we see Madam Mask. Now, if you remember, at First Strike, she's basically the one to kick this whole thing off with her nefarious plans. She faked her death, and she was there with Hammerhead as, portraying his girlfriend, and then she ends up killing Hammerhead. So now she's overlooking all of the destruction that she's caused. And then we get her, we see the reveal of some guy that she's beat down and messed up real bad. Now she's just dragging him down some stairs. He's like, oh, I'm gonna kill you. She's laughing at him, and his head just goes dump, 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 dump down all of the stairs. And she takes him outside. And he's telling her, like, they'll come for you. So she's like, who, them? Don't worry. We had all the time in the world to play. And she sees it. He sees it. She already got his crew. Then we go back over to Murray Hill with Spider-Man and She-Hulk. After they done trampled all of the monsters, now they just sitting there chilling. Spider-Man gets on the line with Luke Cage. And he's telling him, yeah, we got that cleared away. We doing good over here. She's like, don't forget to tell him you was hiding behind me. He's ignoring it. He's like, I'm on the phone. So then She-Hulk notices something and she's like, Spider-Man. He's like, not now. Spider-Man. What? Him. They look up and there's a dark figure approaching them through all of the smoke. Then we get the reveal. It's Tombstone. Tombstone got some nice reveals in this issue, I'll tell you what. And Tombstone tells him, we're gonna have to take down some crime bosses together, Spider-Man. Again. She-Hulk's like, again? Y'all teamed up before? Spider-Man's like, I don't want to talk about it. And that brings us to the end of the issue. This issue was kind of dope. Spider-Man and She-Hulk took down some monsters together. Definitely can't wait to see what's going on with Miles Morales over in Brooklyn with Hobgoblin and Elektra over in Hell's Kitchen, as well as Spider-Man heading downtown to catch Diamondback. This is gonna be fire. I like the way it's going down with this series so far, and I can't wait to the next issue. So, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all been following along, or if you missed out, feel free to click that playlist to follow this entire Gang Wars series. And if you like what you hear, please, man, show the channel some love and drop a like, share, and subscribe. And And feel free to get to those comments and tell me what you think about this gang war. And how would you do it any different? But ladies and gentlemen, from Comics Icons, I'll catch you later. Peace.